it has become one of the great traditions of the world center of speed, the Daytona International Speedway. Good afternoon, I'm Ken Squire, and we're just about set for the Clash of '82. 13 drivers who all won pole positions on the 1981 NASCAR $7 million Grand National Tour square off in a $190,000 sprint old-fashioned shootout. Just 20 laps, 50 miles will decide $50,000 for first place and $18,000 for second. CBS is delighted to have with us today a couple of pretty good commentators. 7-time NASCAR Grand National Champion Richard Petty and the 7-time United States Auto Club champion A.J. Foyt with us today. Richard, if it was yours to do, how would you run this race at the start?
Well, it's according to how good your car's running, but it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. You got to go for the lead right early because it's a 15-minute race, and if you don't get it done quick, you don't get it done.
This looks like some of those old sprint races or midget races you used to run, A.J. How about it? How would you go after this one?
Well, actually, I think I'd go for the lead right at first, try to lead it and stay as high as possible on the racetrack. And if they want to try to go under me, let them go under. But I wouldn't get off the wall. I'd stay up high and try to lead as much of it as possible.
In just a moment, you'll be meeting the 13 drivers ready for the Clash of '82.
Today's CBS Sports Special, the 1982 Busch Clash, is sponsored by Anheuser-Busch, the brewers of Budweiser and Busch beers.
Sundown. It's that time of day, the sun fades away, and the shadows say slow down.
Sure glad this day's over.
Time to put aside the long day's ride and pass the good times around. Busch. Head for the mountains. Head for the beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Busch. Brewed for a taste as smooth as its name. Busch.
Head for Busch beer, head for the mountains.
Head for Busch beer.
A 13-car armada lined up on pit road, and to introduce the drivers, here's Ned Jarrett.
Starting shotgun on the 13-car field is Morgan Shepherd of Conover, North Carolina. Morgan, you said your car could run low on the racetrack. A.J. Foyt said he would go high.
Yes, Ned, our car works real good, Larry. That's the way we've set it up.
Good luck to you. Starting 12th will be Bobby Allison. He's been in all the clashes in the past. Bobby, will it be a disadvantage starting this far back?
Well, Ned, I'd rather have drawn a number further to the front, but there'll be time.
Well, good luck to you. And starting in the 11th position is another newcomer to the Clash is Ron Bouchard, a New England driver. Ron, how do you feel?
Oh, I think we're all set. Hopefully we can get to the front.
Are you nervous?
Not really.
Well, good luck out there. Starting in the 10th position is David Pearson, who has also been in all the clashes in the past. David, what are your chances here today?
Well, Ned, right now I feel like it's pretty slim because they have had problems with the car ever since they've been here with it, but they have picked up a little bit, so how you know, I might be able to hang on and do pretty good.
Another newcomer will be starting in 9th position. He's Mark Martin, an Indiana driver. Mark, you look calm here before the start of this race.
Well, I'm pretty calm, Ned. I'm just going to take it by feel. However it comes, that's the way I'm going to drive the race.
He's one of the smallest drivers in the field. Starting next to him will be Harry Gant, who is qualified on the outside pole for the Daytona 500. Harry, how do you feel your chances are here today?
Well, it's, as good as anybody's got one out of 13. It can be anybody's race.
Well, starting right next to you will be Darrell Waltrip, last year's winner of this clash. Darrell, can you make it 2 in a row?
We got enough Mountain Dew packed in this thing to make it 10 in a row.
Well, I don't know how that'll help, but you're going to need some of it.
If it'll all stay in there, we'll be all right.
Dale, you look pretty happy here today.
Well, I sure do, Ned. The car's running pretty good, and, of course, we got a tough field here, and it's going to be tough to win, but we're going to give it our best shot.
Go get them. Dave Marcus is also new to the Clash. He's driving car number 71. Dave, car's running good for you here.
Ned, car's running good and qualified good. It's comfortable, so we're going for a win.
Can you win this thing?
I'm going to try.
Okay, go get them. $50,000 up for the win. Neil Bonnet finished second in this class year before last, and he's ready to move up a notch, I assume, Neil.
Ned, we're fixing to see if this little Ford can chase down in the draft some of those high-speed Chevrolets. We'll see what happens.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And another Ford product is Bill Elliott, who is also new to the Clash, his first time in here. Bill, how do you feel?
I'm looking forward to it, Ned. I feel like it's going to be an experience, if nothing else.
I'll tell you, there'll be a lot of drafting going on out there today. Good luck to you. Starting on the outside pole is Ricky Rudd, another driver who is new to this Clash. Ricky, can you stay out there?
I hope so, Ned. We're just going to, put the pedal down and just see what happens. It's just going to be the type of race we're just going to have to run a few laps and see how everything sorts out.
Well, a lot of good iron behind you there, and certainly a lot of fast drivers. And starting on the pole is Terry Labonte, another driver who is in this Clash for the very first time. Terry, you got a bunch of iron back here behind you and a bunch of fast iron.
I know it, Ned. I just hope they stay there for about 20 laps.
What is your strategy? How can you stay out front? Is there anything you can do other than hold it wide open?
That's about all. It's going to really be tough to do.
Well, Buddy Baker won the fastest Clash ever at over 194 miles an hour, and that was 2 years ago, but is not in this one. Buddy, you even look nervous even though you're not in the race.
Well, it's probably the most exciting automobile race ever staged, and to be in this race, it's kind of like who's who in racing, and I'm not in it this year, and it's a very disappointing thing, and I promise you one thing, by the end of this season, I'll be in it next year.
Well, we'll be back with the start of the Clash after this.
Racing engines run hot. SDP oil treatment fights the effects of heat in racing cars. Your car runs hot, too. In everyday driving, heat weakens your oil's vital protective properties. That's motor oil breakdown. STP fights motor oil breakdown. STP strengthens your oil, putting extra lubricants and anti-wear agents to work just where they're needed. Whenever you change or add oil, get STP oil treatment and fight motor oil breakdown.
Out here, a thunderstorm moves in fast. Sometimes too fast. And when they're taken care of, it's your turn. Busch. Head for the beer brewed natural as a mountain stream. For a taste as smooth as its name. Busch.
Head for Busch.
Head for the mountains.
Tomorrow on CBS Sports, coast-to-coast rivalry as the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers square off in NBA action. Following the Daytona 500 tomorrow on CBS Sports.
Up to turn number 3, Dave Sutherland.
Field coming up for a start in the 4th annual Busch Clash. Labonte and Rudd in row number 1. Bill Elliott and Neil Bonnet in row 2. Marcus and Cale Yarborough in row 3. Waltrip and Gant in row 4. Row 5 is Mark Martin and David Pearson. Row 6, Ron Bouchard and Bobby Allison. In row 7, Morgan and Shepard. Here they come down at a turn number 4. 50 miles, 20 laps. Terry Labonte, who drew the front position. Car number 44 brings them in. Right beside him, Ricky Rudd. They're underway. The Clash into its first lap. Even down. Watch those cars out back, including Waltrip and Gant. They have to start moving to pull up through. Into turn number 1. Springing from the outside. Out in front goes Ricky Rudd. Labonte is in second place. The inside is open. Somebody wants to take a shot there. Down the inside, beginning to crawl up through Neil Bonnet. Trying to find just a little distance, and Mark Martin is in there now. Cale Yarborough goes into 4th place. Do you want to give up the inside, guys? What about it, AJ?
I'm going to stay on the outside all day myself.
What about you, Richard?
Right now, everybody's just sort of getting in line. They're not worried whether inside or outside. They just want to get in line, then they'll start racing.
What you don't want to do is get out of that first draft. Usually, this race is decided between 2 drivers at the finish. They try to break away from each other. That seems to be the general strategy in any stock car race, Richard.
Well, I think that's why they're not passing up front right now. If they could get those 3 or 4 cars and just stay right together, they could get away from the rest of them and they're in good shape.
Down the back straightaway. Ricky Rudd of Chesapeake, Virginia, stays in front. The move is on the inside. Closing, pulling up. Here comes Neil Bonnet into second place. Labonte to third. Cale Yarborough back and forth. 4-car draft in front.
This will give everybody behind a chance to catch up now.
You really get pushed around in a draft like that, AJ?
You really do, and it looks like the first bunch has kind of broke the draft, and they're going to be pulling away.
6 cars tangling for the lead here in the Clash. front Labonte, which is a bit of a surprise, I think, Richard.
Yeah, it really is that he's running up there. He didn't really qualify that good, but this is what the draft does to you. If you can run a pretty good speed, then you'll be able to hang on there.
Down the back straightaway.
I think you're seeing Cale start to make a move on the inside right now.
Here's Yarborough taking one. He goes up underneath Labonte. That really pinches you down in turn 3, doesn't it, AJ?
It really does. That's what I was talking about now. There's another guy pushing him, but he didn't quite make it.
Back they come to complete lap number 3 of 20. And as they come to the line, Labonte is in first. Neil Bonnet is in second. Change that up in front. As they come through, it's Ricky Rudd in the lead. And in second is Neil Bonnet. Labonte is in third. Cale Yarborough holding on to that 4th spot.
Well, we've now got a 7-car draft that's breaking away from the rest of the cars. So the ones in the front are the ones that's going to win the race. These other boys have done lost the draft, and they're not going to be able to catch it up.
Battle for the lead to the inside. Neil Bonnet goes out in front, the Ford Thunderbird. Now, that hasn't been an extremely fast car, but it sure hauls its way up through there now, AJ.
It really does. Like Richard said earlier, any draft at all really picks up the Ford Thunderbird. But also, you might kind of notice back in the pack that Bobby Allison is making a strong bid.
Harry Gant runs just on the tail end of that draft. Gant in number 33. Among those 7 cars up in that first draft back in turn number 1. Bonnet in first. Labonte is in second.
I think that's Bobby that just moved into fourth.
On the back straightaway, it is still Cale Yarborough in third. Now going to the inside, Yarborough making his move for the lead. Cale Yarborough gets right down there and muscles it through on the inside. Wheel to wheel in turn number 4 at over 195 miles an hour. Down they come in a bundle. Looks like they want to go 3 wide here, Richard.
Bobby Allison.
Indeed, AJ. Bobby Allison is the new leader in the Clash. He's tried in all 3 previous races to win it, never come closer than 4th. But right now, he's out in front. Let's look again at that amazing pass. As they come to the tri-oval, directly in front of him is number 27, Cale Yarborough. On the outside is Neil Bonnet. Here comes Allison. It looks like he just misses, dropping off the 18-degree banking by inches as he makes that shot underneath and takes first place. Allison, your leader. Bobby Allison in front. Neil Bonnet in second as they fly that speed shot, and here they come by the crowd. A good crowd up for the Clash this year. Back to the start-finish line, another climb. What does that car feel like as it comes through the tri-oval, AJ, in a draft like this?
Well, actually, I think Bobby is handling real good. That's what I said earlier. And you notice he dropped down to the inside and had a little draft, and he's handling right now real superior. And I think he's going to be hard to beat the way it looks.
When they come by this time, there will be 7 laps complete, 13 remaining. That lead car, Allison, tucked right in, is number 21. The other guy from Hueytown, Alabama, Neil Bonnet. Those two would love to get in the draft and try to pull away. But having no part of that is Terry Labonte running third in the 44.
You might notice, Ken, Bobby Allison started 12th in the race and actually has passed 4 cars than anybody.
The 1978 Daytona 500-mile champion Bobby Allison leading here. Tomorrow he'll go for the big one in the $900,000 Daytona 500. And you'll see flag-to-flag coverage here on CBS starting at noon Eastern Time. Holding on to second place is Neil Bonnet. In third, Terry Labonte making his first appearance in the Clash. Bonnet has been here on 2 previous occasions, finishing 8th and 2nd. And there you have number 21, Neil Bonnet, right behind the man who was his pedagogue on the short tracks, Bobby Allison. 6 cars together out of turn number 4. Richard, you like to pass right in here.
Well, it's just a good place for my car. Where I set my car up to run high, and it's a good place to pass for me. And you just got to really watch them because they'll come out against the wall coming off the tri-oval, and then you really get in trouble.
Number 88. It is still Bobby Allison with a fresh ride this year. Has left the Waddell Wilson team, gone to the Nygaard team, and he stays up in front. Neil Bonnet.
see a while ago, Keel was up right at the front racing, and he kept trying to pass people on the inside, and the outside line finally got away from him. They got him back about 5th place now, so won't be long. He'll be going to start making some more moves.
Labonte runs a very stout 3rd. Maintaining 4th is Waltrip. Speed continuing to stay right up there towards that mark, which was established by Buddy Baker in 1979 when he ran this race at an average speed of 194.384 miles per hour. When they start passing and moving around out there, it slows them down a tad.
Well, I'll tell you, Ken, Bobby sure is looking awful solid. Looks coming through the driveway here very smooth, and his car just looks fantastic at the present time.
These cars smaller than we saw 2 years ago. A year ago, they were still sorting them out. But they really look like no one's having any problem up in this front line, Richard.
All the cars look like they're staying about where the boys are wanting to put them. And I'm just sitting here watching Neil that he's just satisfied to sit right there behind Bobby waiting for his chance.
Bonnet is in 2nd. Labonte is in 3rd. Halfway signal is on the field this time by 4th spot. Waltrip. Gant goes to the inside. Harry Gant pulling up. Very tight running and a little bit loose in the back end that time, Richard.
Yeah, at 33 there is a little loose. You know, it's hard to pass coming through this dog leg and run low. It's an awful loose place on the racetrack.
360 degrees around the track. You're watching about a turn number 2. Still, Allison stays in front.
I noticed, like Rich and I both noticed right then, Ken, it looks like Harry Gant's a little bit too loose. He gets under the guys and it kind of just jerks him all over the racetrack. I think he's got a little bit of problem there handling.
$50,000 to win, AJ. If you were Neil Bonnet, would you just sit there? What would you do if you were Terry Labonte?
I would just sit there like he's doing at the present time.
Wait it out.
Right. Because actually this race is won on the last lap, and the guys back in the back that are fighting and fishtailing right now, getting loose, all they're doing is creating tire temperature, which they will not be getting the traction come down the last lap.
Darrell Waltrip, number 11, stays 4th. Remember, he won it a year ago. And at the midway point, we have the largest number of cars running in the lead pack in the history of the Busch Clash, with Bobby Allison on the point. Richard Petty and A.J. Foyt, I'm Ken Squire, bringing you the spectacular Clash of '82 here at the Daytona Speedway, where right now Bobby Allison is in front, Neil Bonnet's in 2nd. Moments ago, major retirees. A man who's been in this race on all previous occasions. David Pearson folded his cat, and then Ricky Rudd in his first appearance, he came in as well. On the back straightaway, Bobby Allison's in the front position with Neil Bonnet 2nd. Labonte in 3rd, and there goes Gant dipping down to the inside again, trying that inside shot through turn 4.
What happened, it bogs the car real bad when you run low like that, and that's what A.J. said. He said you needed to run high because it really takes a strong car to pass anybody on the inside like that.
Getting down to it, would you guys want to be running up in front right now on the point, or would you like to be ready for a slingshot? How about it, A.J.?
Well, I would actually just soon be 1st or 2nd, right where Neil and actually Bobby Allison sitting, because that's a pretty good position to be sitting in, and both them boys are very smart on drafting.
Average speed 192.034 miles per hour over the first 15 laps. Time running out in the 1982 Clash. Waltrip just maintaining 4th. You know he's got something planned here.
Well, I know he's thinking about it. I don't know what he's got planned, but we're going to find out right quick.
You know, Ken, you notice Harry Gant, he's trying awful hard on the low route. He's tried it again and again, and he's just doing everything in the world to try to get up front, and he just can't quite making it. And there he is right now. He's trying to get underneath Ron Bouchard, and he might make it. No, it's just almost impossible when you get the tires that hot because he's tried so hard.
Into the last 3 laps, Allison stays in front. Bonnet in 2nd at over 190 mile per hour, average up to 192. And there you see them in a bundle. Waltrip in 4th, Yarborough in 5th, and Ron Bouchard from Pittsburgh, Massachusetts, hold on to 6th position. Allison taking just a little bit higher set there in turn number 4. Getting a little scoop of air on the inside, number 21, Neil Bonnet in the Wood Brothers car. Ford Products have finished 2nd in this race on 2 occasions. All right, they're down to it. 2 to go. 2 laps remaining. Now that Gant has tried the inside and has not been successful, you feel the other drivers are considering that part of their strategy?
What they're going to do, they're going to pull down and try up the backstretch, and if they don't clear anybody up the backstretch, then they're going to be in trouble because the people on the outside is going to get the best of it.
Gant, you see him dropping back behind the yellow automobile. Here's Gant coming again down the inside, trying to whip through automobiles. He takes Bouchard, but he has to tweak it in turn number 3, and he falls back again. Still, Allison, can he go all the way to the flag? 1 lap remains in the clash of 82. Bobby Allison, the leader of the Alabama gang, takes the lead flag. Bonnet stays right there in second. Labonte is in third. Waltrip is in fourth. Back to go to turn number 1. How about it, Richard?
Well, I'll tell you, it's going to be real interesting about halfway down the backstretch, and right now it's still anybody's race. The first 3, it's going to be hard for the 4 on back to even come up to the front.
Real interesting it will be. This is the final lap. $50,000 at stake to win it down to the inside. Here comes Bonnet. Bonnet moving in.
Yeah, I don't know if he can make it.
Labonte's in a good position right now. The top row's the way to go.
And number 11, Waltrip gets down on the inside. He may come even across the grass. We've seen him pull maneuvers like that. Down they come for the finish. Here comes Waltrip. Look at him come up the inside. He hits Bonnet at the line. Car number 88, Bobby Allison, has won the clash. Second place, too close to call between Labonte on the outside, Neil Bonnet on the inside, as Waltrip got a piece of both Neil Bonnet and Cale Yarborough at the finish line. A heartbeat, Terry Labonte defeats Neil Bonnet at the finish line for second place. $50,000 richer from this approximately 15-minute extravaganza, and that is added to some $3,200,000 that Allison has accumulated over the years in Grand National Racing. Let's watch again how he made a move early in the race to appropriate that lead as he came to one of the fastest parts of the track, right at the start-finish line, the tri-oval. Allison drops underneath, almost on the apron. Cale Yarborough moving up a bit, almost touching Neil Bonnet on the outside. And Bobby Allison was on his way to victory lane, where the camera people cadre is waiting for him, as is Ned Jarrett.
A very happy Bobby Allison climbs out of the nine-guard car number 88. Bobby, congratulations.
Thank you, Ned. You bet. I'm happy.
Well, this was somewhat a sweet revenge over last year.
Well, it really is. Last year, you know, we supposedly had the fastest car, and we had trouble the whole time we were here. And today we kind of got skunked on that qualifying a little bit as far as the pole went, but we come on in the race, and the thing really ran great. I'm telling you, Robert Yates and his crew got a heck of an engine in here, and Gary and the boys have got the car handling. I just was tickled.
Well, congratulations on this one. Good luck in the Daytona 500.
Thank you, Ned.
Well, that's the story from Victory Lane.
Well, thank you, Ned. Bobby Allison pulls it off, averaging over 191 miles per hour, not a record. And let's look again at that finish as they came down into the tri-oval. How about it right here, A.J.?
Well, actually, it looks like it's going to be a good finish, but Bobby, like we said earlier, is in the groove, and Terry Labonte staying right there real close with him, and you can see right here where Neil and Darrell get together just a little bit.
Just a little bit, Richard.
Well, just a little bit too much, really. See how Cale had to go way out because he was following the number 11. But it's just one of those things that everybody's trying to get to the winner's circle at the same time, and there just wasn't enough room.
Well, gentlemen, let's look again at this most minute margin by which Allison won, and then Labonte beat Bonnet. A.J., what about tomorrow's 500?
Well, I'm going to do my best to stay up front just like Bobby, and like I said earlier, you know, stay in the top groove and just try to hang on all day. My car seemed like it's a couple mile an hour slower with the Oldsmobile front end, so I don't know. I'm just going to do the best we can.
What about it, Richard?
Well, you know, we like everybody else. We just hope that we're around at the end of the race to get able to run like that right there, because no matter how quick you run or no matter what happens, you got to be around when it's over with. And if it's our day, we'll be down there where Bobby's at. If it ain't, we'll probably be in the pit watching everybody else.
And you'll see it, flag to flag, from the very beginning to when it's over, as A.J. Foyt, Richard Petty, and the rest of this 40-car field gets ready, set sail in the Daytona 500 24th edition tomorrow here on CBS starting at 12 o'clock Eastern. For A.J. Foyt and Richard Petty with a clash of 82, I'm Ken Squire.